Hey there, fellow marketers. Professor Wolters here, and today we're going to talk about our tracking metrics to help you better see how your reach to your client is going, how your engagement with your audience is going, how you're converting people to sales, how you're getting them to do actions. We're looking at all these different aspects, but it's specifically about the tracking metrics you can use with your website, with your social media to see, hey, are we getting the job done? Right? And so we need to start with some of the basics when it comes to, key performance indicators or tracking metrics we need just to look at our audience reach. Like, are we getting out there? And the first thing I want to talk about is the basic visit. Okay, what is a visit? What are visits? Well, a visit is someone or something, that's the thing you have to think about, that visits a website where at least one page of the website is open. So it could be someone's like searching for something, they find, oh, that has my answer, boom, they leave. Or someone goes on there, or your grandma goes on there, that's a visit. And the thing is, visits just tell you how many times the website was open, how many people, like, in general, how many visits were showing up. And the thing is, you could have your grandma go and reload your website and go visit it a few times a day, and all those visits count. But for a business, do you want to have it that, it's 400 visits from your grandma and 3 from other people? No, you want to have a better idea of who the unique visitors are, okay? Because visits, just whoever does it could be multiple times, but unique visits or unique visitors, that's the number of individually different visits or visitors to a website, okay? So the different UINs that come and open up that website. So you might want to track that to see how many different people are watching. The thing is, if you're looking at a website, you want to know, like, if I'm going to advertise on a site, I just don't want visits. I want unique visitors. How many different people are watching this? Because if it's the same person going 1,000 times back and reloading, that's not quite what I want, okay? Or it might be. That shows dedication, but you want to look in terms of the unique visitors that are there, the individual ones that are there. So that's another tracking metric you want to look at for your audience reach. And then you might think of, yeah, we've got visits, we've got unique visitors, but what about new people that have come in? Because maybe you want to track is, hey, if we're going to be advertising, if I want to get the word out, if I want to put people out there to know that our new product's available, I want to know how many new people are coming in, right? So then you might actually track new visitors. And the number of new visitors are the number of visits or visitors that are come to your channel for the first time. And the thing is that first time can mean different things. It could be the first time ever when you're tracking for them, or it could be you might say, look, we're just going to every 6 weeks we are going to, act like if you haven't visited us in 6 weeks, you're a new client. So you can actually change what new visitors mean, but it is something you might want to track if you're trying to grow your business. Who's coming to see us? It's the same people all the time. Is it our regulars or are there new customers coming in that we might be able to sell to for a new client base? So you might want to look at that. And so when we look at visits, unique visitors, new visitors, we have all these things. Another thing we want to talk about in terms of our reach is our conversation volume. And that gives us an idea of how many people are actually talking, tweeting, writing about our specific topic or our business online. And by doing this, you can figure out who's talking about us, what are they talking about, what is associated with us, so we can see look, is it, what's the age demographic? Is it positive words they're searching with, or is it negative words? It can give you an idea of what the conversation is about, but also the conversation volume. Hey, are people talking about, is it getting out there, getting shared? Am I getting 50 retweets or am I only getting 1? I mean, you have to compare these things, because for some companies, hey, 1 retweet is nice, 50 is amazing. But for other ones, we only got 10,000 retweets, that sucked. I mean, you want to think about that, all right? So think about your conversation volume, how many people are talking about you and what they're talking about. So there you have your tracking metrics in terms of your audience reach, but there are more out there you can use. I just want to give you a few ideas. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is tracking your kind of actions generated. Like, we got to track how well are we doing? How many people are actually doing something because of our social media, because of our digital, what we're doing? And so one thing you might want to look at for measuring your actions generated, you might have what's called online opportunity volume. So basically what we're looking at here is the number of viable, that's the key thing, viable online sales opportunities to the sales team. So if all those people that come to our website, how many are realistic sales? Think about it. When you work in retail, if any of you have worked in retail, you see people come in, you're like, they're just window shopping. He's not buying anything. Oh, they're going to buy something. You're like, I'll go help them. You do the same thing online. Because we might have 1 million views or 1 million visits or 1 million visitors or whatever, but if none of them are really going to buy, well, maybe my maybe my plan didn't work so well because we're not getting people to actually buy things, right? So we want to kind of look at that. We want to track that and see what happens. And so when you see is, oh, this plan we did got us a lot of sales. This didn't get us a lot of viable sales. That helps you make decisions, okay? Now, on the other side, you actually can have your offline opportunity volume as well. And here we're looking at the kind of viable offline sales opportunities to the sales team. So how many of those are visiting your stores or actually going to buy, like we talked about there? You can look at that, and you might look at it in terms of generating people getting to the store and actually looking at things and buying. There's a lot of different things you can think about. So you're looking at it in terms of, hey, how many viable customers have we brought into the store, or how many we brought in online? That's going to be important when you're tracking things, especially if you're only using social media or digital advertisements. You can really look at that and see, hey, was there an increase in viable sales opportunities? So you're going to look at that. Now, the next thing we want to look at is what we call your sales converted. How do we track our converted sales? The ones that are really doing something that's not just looking, but they're actually shelling out the money. And so here, obviously, you're going to look at your online sales volume. Pretty self-explanatory, just looking at your amount of online sales, okay? But you can also look at your offline sales volume that was generated by online, okay, or from online. So this is when people see that $5 footlong ad, maybe like down here below or something like this, or over on the side in a YouTube video or on a website. They see that and, hey, did that get them to go? The thing is, this one can be kind of tricky to track. That's why you'll see people asking, hey, so how did you find out about us? Was it the website? Was it an ad? Was it a friend? They're trying to figure these things out to see how much of our offline, in-store business was actually generated because of online stuff. That's why sometimes it's hard for companies to really assign the return on investment for social media marketing, digital marketing, and advertising, because you don't necessarily buy everything online. Sometimes people go to the store to buy, but they were inspired by an online purchase, or they go into the store. So there can be some things. That's why you're going to use multiple tracking metrics, multiple metrics out there to really understand what works and what doesn't work. And then the kind of last set of tracking metrics I want to talk about is engaging with our customers in order to grow or retain them. So how do we see that we're engaging with them? How do we know we're getting good customers or right customers, or what's going on? Well, one thing you want to look at is your email list quality, because you'll keep a list of your customers. People that buy from you, you're going to have a list. You're going to keep those things on there, and you're going to see hey, how legitimate is this email list? Is it good? And sometimes people will actually buy email lists in order to get potential new clients. And this is where it becomes important to have email list quality standards. And here we're going to look at is basically how many of those emails, when I send them, get bounced back to me. Are very many of them getting open to me? How many of them are getting unsubscribed right away? Because if you buy a list of emails and no one's replying back, half of them get bounced back to you. Another 45% are unsubscribed right away. You're like, well, this list quality wasn't very good. You obviously want to look at that. How do we make it better? How do we make sure that we're sending emails to the right people? So that's why it's important that you kind of track your email list quality, all right? And one of the things you can do to kind of help you with that email list quality, you also can look at email engagement quality. So basically, how well are people responding to this email? Okay, maybe they are responding, but what are they doing? Are they opening the email? You can track that. Are they clicking on a link from the email? Because you can track that. Are they buying when they're coming from the email? You can track that. All these kind of things you can see. It's like, hey, this email, the engagement here, it's working, it's getting people to buy. What did we do in this email that got people to actually buy, to actually do something, whether it is subscribe, like, share, what was it, okay? So you could be tracking those things. And of course, you could just look at overall transactions, right? How many transactions are generated by our engagement with our customers? Is it, us, sending out the newsletter and they do something, or is it, someone asks a question on social media, we answer it and they buy something? How many of you're like, do you have a size, XXL in this t-shirt? And oh yeah, we do. Here's the link, and you click and buy right away. You can look at those things. You can track all of that, all right? So I just want you to think about just different kind of tracking metrics that might work for you, because these are just some other ones. I have other videos that talk about other tracking metrics, but these are some basic ones that you should be using in order to see what's working, what's not working, and where are things going, just to figure out how things are happening. All right, so I hope this helps you out. If you want to learn more, hit that subscribe button. We got plenty more business videos and marketing videos and social media marketing videos to come. And I'll say bye from here in Galveston, Texas.